Dream is the LeBron James of Minecraft. I mean, the guy is 6'2". He's playing with the wrong type of blocks. Dream. We digress after one sentence. In this video, we will be breaking down all of Dream's best plays from the final Manhunt, so without further ado, let's dive in. First off, let's take a moment to appreciate the greatness that Dream has brought to us in Manhunt. He finished off with a final record of 11-9 and a total of 320 kills, averaging 16 kills per Manhunt. This man was a Minecraft menace. To start off the hunt, Dream said that he's planning to do a Manhunt in real life, which who knows what that would look like, although I am super excited for it. A minute and a half into the video, we see that Dream took his first risk. He starts off small, but this jump definitely got my heart to pause for a second. Anyone who's played Minecraft knows that these blind jumps off cliffs are more intense than they may seem. You think, oh, I can easily make this, then halfway down you second guess if you actually will be able to. The second clutch came 5.5 minutes later. Dream, stranded, with no hunger, no health, no blocks, and no way to get down, seizes an opportunity and grabs Sapnap's water bucket mid-air and lands it. Objectively, this wasn't the hardest move, but with every play with Manhunt, context is key. Sapnap made a mistake of announcing that he was going to throw the water bucket down, which gave Dream the opportunity to think about what was going to happen for a second. But once Sapnap threw the bucket, Dream had to act. He jumped, switched his inventory to an open slot, grabbed the bucket, landed the jump, stole some food, then ran away, all on the first try. I think that's something that we often forget in Manhunts is the fact that Dream cannot make a single mistake. One mistake and he's dead, just like what happened in the first Manhunt with Bad Boy Halo in it. The second play and Dream's first big brain play of the hunt, Dream dove into the ocean monument. Spam clicking the bucket was something I had never seen before, so that was sick, but trapping them in the monument with them having mining fatigue was so smart. It also bought him 2 to 3 minutes, which was enough time for him to get some food and the saplings that he needed for one of his moves later on. 5 minutes later, Dream goes to the Nether for the first time. Now we see Dream do things like this more often in the recent hunts. What he'll do is he'll make an achievement, generally it's the hot stuff achievement, and do it with a purpose to throw the hunters off. This way, when Dream wants to go to the Nether for real, he has the ability to make himself a portal without the hot stuff or Nether achievement giving him away. Now he mostly used getting this achievement in the hunt to buy him some time, but either way it worked in his favor. Also, as a side note with going to the Nether and the Hunter's compasses, while still in the overworld, the Hunter's compasses work like normal. They will lock onto Dream's last position, which would be the Nether portal, so the Hunters wouldn't know that Dream was still in the overworld until they went into the Nether and found out that there was no players to track. Later on in the hunt, Dream has his first one-on-one battle with Sapnap and absolutely destroyed him. I'm a big fan of water combat as it's such a change from the normal PvP that we see. In this case, Dream did really well to get the advantage and he almost killed Sapnap, which would have given Dream diamond armor, but Sapnap had a golden apple which saved him. I don't know for sure, but with counting hits, I'm guessing that Sapnap was down to about 3 hearts. A minute later, Dream built up and then jumped down through the waterfall and got away. It's not a super huge or impressive play, but it was a smooth way to escape. After being chased some more, Dream placed a crafting table on some floating stand that caused Bad and Sam to fall into a pit. Dream then ran into a small cave, placing and lighting TNT as he went, which bought him some time. He then got out, dropped a couple more lit blocks of TNT, widening the gap between himself and the hunters even more. Once in the Nether, Dream again couldn't get much of a tactical advantage. Now I want to quick pause to say of the 43 hunters deaths in this Manhunt, only 8 came before everyone was in the end, and 4 of those were George trying to get back to the fortress. George was asking about that in the extra scenes actually, so there you go. You're welcome, George. Also, my claim to fame is that I was the 3rd view of the extra scenes. Yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of that. Dream had a really smart play at the fortress that almost killed Sapnap. We're quite accustomed to Dream wall blocking along the side of the fortress, but in this instance, Dream ducked into a window. Sapnap followed Dream's wall blocks, assuming that he was doing the same wall clutching as before, but got quite a surprise when Dream, hiding in a window, knocked him down to half a heart. Even once Dream got away from the fortress, he couldn't get much of a break. He soon found himself with 1 heart and no hunger, and worst of all, the 5 hunters right there behind him. As I mentioned in another video, one of Dream's biggest strengths is his ability to put pressure back onto the hunters. With a punch 2 bow, Dream kept the hunters just far enough back in order to make an escape, which itself was a smart play. You see, Dream dug into a wall of netherrack, but then immediately dug up before digging away. Since netherrack doesn't cobble when you break it with a pickaxe, I actually don't know if cobble can be used as a verb, but I just did. If Dream digs up or down, the hunters would have no way of knowing where he went. At the 42-minute mark, which, by the way, side tangent, Dream making the hunt last longer was not only a really cool thing to do for the finale, but it also got me really nervous, because where I normally expect the hunts to be nearing their end, Dream was still in the Nether. so in the back of my mind I kept thinking that he was actually about to die. But at the 42-minute mark, Dream bow boosted, which was a super smart way to escape. Now, I personally had never known that bow boosting was even a thing, so it was even cooler to me, with the idea being completely fresh. Later on, Dream wrecks George twice, once in a short 1v1 that sent George running away, and then 30 seconds later when Dream blocks George from jumping. I'd mentioned in another video how in the 400's rematch that it seemed like Dream was a bit off on his game, and in this hunt, that was definitely George, who died 14 times, tying Sapnap for the most deaths in a single manhunt. We then see Dream Pearl, grow a jungle tree, and then land on the top. It wasn't the most difficult move per se, and the play didn't do much other than let Dream collect his thoughts for a moment, but sometimes that's all you need. Also, you may have missed it, but Dream was actually trying to place his boat while on the tree to float down, but the leaf broke, Dream fell, forcing him to land the MLG boat. And not super impressive since we've seen him do it before, but something you may have missed. In the chase that followed, Dream used a much more simple yet much more annoying tactic by dropping the water behind him, slowing the hunters down. Then comes the end. Dream attempts to fly to the end, but Sapnap engages God mode, bridges up to cut Dream off, and then sacrifices himself to stop Dream from getting an elytra. For the next 7 minutes, my heart raced like never before. Floating over the void, one wrong move, one hit, and that would be it. But then Dream did it. Bombing the hunters, jumping down, placing a slime block, and then MLG water landing right in front of George. It was simply poetic how at the end of it all, it was Dream and George staring face to face. 2 years ago, Dream uploaded his first ever manhunt, just him and George, and now, 1 billion views later, it's them again, and they face off, and as perfect as it could be, they both fall into the void. Dream floated down, even more poetically reminiscent of the 2 Hunters video that rocketed Manhunt to a whole nother plane of popularity. Running out of time, he fishes pearls, and that was the end. 20 Manhunts later, and it's not a tie. Dream with 11 wins, the Hunters with 9. No questions about who was better, Dream standing atop the throne alone. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is usually the point where I tell you that I've been working on this video for a month, but that's obviously not true. Life changed a bit and now I have a little more time to work on videos, so hopefully more should be coming. Please consider subscribing and let me know what you guys want to see next. Adios.